Hi guys, Katie here. I am back to show you guys a quick little tour of my vintage booth. I know I've been promising you guys this for several weeks now. I finally had the chance to get in there and get some clips. So I will show you guys what it looks like. It's a small space, but I have really packed it in. It's important for me to make use of every inch in the space so that I can try to flip a nice little profit at the end of the month. Right now, I'm really focusing on spring and the Easter holiday ahead. So that includes a lot of greenery baskets, anything bunny related, planters, anything floral, and even old gardening books. Those seem to be the hot sellers right now and the types of items that go really quickly. So here's a couple of shots of kind of how I've arranged things. I like things that are really kitschy and unusual. I like to buy cheap so that I can sell cheap. I always say I am not running a museum. My whole intention of this booth is to sell the items. So I try to price things really reasonable so that people take them home quickly. One of my top selling items is vintage kitchen. Really anything colorful and kitschy, 1950s, 1960s. Those seem to be the items that really sell. I also, surprisingly, seem to do really well with vintage kids items. So that includes toys from the 80s, which I know it's weird to think of those as vintage, but books, the old golden books, things like that. Small items, I have them all bagged up and I have them priced as a group for anywhere from, $1 to $5. Those are hanging on a chip clip stand. Those get snagged up very quickly, as do any type of bohemian items. So things that are plant related, wicker, planters, things like that go really, really fast. You guys can see I really stack things up. I try to put a lot in there to look at, so it's not one of those booths that you just give a quick glance to and keep walking. I make it colorful, and I like for people to come in and dig around and hopefully find a treasure. I have items starting at just $1 so that there's something for everyone. You might recognize some of these items from some of my latest thrift trips. I like to get them in there really quickly so they are not sitting at my house collecting dust. I think arranging things is a big part of the process. You kind of want to put like items together and you want to kind of give an idea to the shoppers, kind of ways that they can display the items. So I think that if they see things displayed in a cool way, they can better imagine it in their own homes, and it makes them a little more excited to buy. And so that's kind of one of the things that I like to focus on, is making sure that things are kind of displayed by light category and in a way that's appealing. I like grouping by color. This is my current table as you walk into the booth. So I have a lot of green on there right now for St. Patrick's Day and some rainbow items. I also like to include just things that are kind of fun and unusual, like this mug, things that will make people kind of laugh. And you can see that I like to put a rug down in the booth just to make it more cozy. I really like layering things just to make a lot of color and texture, just to kind of make the space a little bit more inviting. One of my other items that I seem to sell really, really well are books. I include tons of books in my booth. You can see there is a succulent book, succulent book in there. There's a couple little gardening books tucked behind these dishes. And then I have a bunch of cookbooks. And I can't keep these on the shelf. People love the cookbooks. So I try to grab those whenever I can, and especially if they're cheap, if I can sell them for a few dollars. They go really quick. I like to move the books around because people are less inclined to search through a bookshelf. So I like to keep them displayed, like open-faced displayed wherever I can, and switch those out because they seem to go quicker that way. People still love the old linens. They don't sell for as much as they used to, but I like to be able to buy those cheap and so that I can sell them for a few bucks each. They also seem to really like the old glassware. Cups and saucers I sell really quick. People are using these a lot for candle making these days. And so when I can buy them cheap, I can sell them, for $5-6. I sell several dozen cookbooks a month. As I told you guys, people love the vintage ones. They love looking up those, recipes that Grandma used to make and giving those a try. And so those are very nostalgic for a lot of people. I think the 80s toys are really nostalgic for a lot of people as well. The Fire King, the Pyrex, those are items that I have a hard time keeping in stock. They seem to sell pretty quick. Here's a little bit of an older clip. Before I put the St. Patrick's Day stuff out, I did have a little Valentine's Day display. These items were up closer to the front, but once the holiday got closer, I went ahead and moved them to the side. So these items are no longer in there, but just to show you guys how I like to group things and get ready for the holiday, whichever one it may be coming up. I do include some small handmade items, those little wool mushrooms I made, and those seem to sell really well. If you like to collect and you've ever thought about doing a booth, I say go for it. I've had a booth, ever since I was like 18 years old. And so getting back into it these last few months has been a lot of fun. It's a great way to make a little extra cash. And for me, it's just really therapeutic going in, decorating, cleaning up my booth, and just enjoying the whole process of it all. You meet some really nice people. And it's fun to just share your passion for vintage things or whatever it is that you'd like to sell with other people. So there's my quick little tour. I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. Remember, like and subscribe. I will see you back next week with some more videos. Thanks, guys. Happy thrifting.